What is good, guys? It's your boy Jay Giggy back with another review. It's been a while since we've done some of these reviews, and for this show in particular, we will be reviewing The Great Pretender that recently came out on Netflix. Now, with me today, because I do have a guest star with me to help me out with this, I have Parzival with me today.
Hey Jay Diddy, thank you so much for having me. Happy holidays, guys.
Oh yeah, happy holidays, because I mean this video is probably going to come out way after the holidays, but we're recording it around the holiday time period. So yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the good shit. Alright. Wait, were you saying something?
No.
Okay, so let's actually get right into this. So, would you want to do the honors of giving a general summary of what this entire series is about?
Alright, so Great Pretenders is an anime on Netflix about a group of con men who plan out these elaborate heists to try and scam people out of their fortune. And so the way the show is divided up is that the show has, I think, 23 episodes.
I honestly do not remember, but it has 4 cases.
Yes, it has 4 cases split across 23 episodes. And what's cool is you could say each case, in addition to each case taking place in a different part of the world and dealing with a different type of subject matter, it also deals with, you go into the personal backstories of different characters in each of the cases, but you stick with the same 4. You stick with the same 4 members of the crew, but you learn more about them as the show progresses.
Alright, there we go. Yeah, so now that we got that out of the way, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about the cases first, and then we'll talk about the characters that are left over afterwards. So let's start with case 1. So do you want me to take this one, or do you want to take it?
I will take it.
Take case 1. Go.
So, case 1, our introductory case, and right off the bat, this anime does something so clever that I really like, which is, on a side note, before I say anything, I highly recommend you watch this anime in the dub, because these people come from all around the world, and they travel to different places in the world, and the accent and the voice acting of the dub is so good. This is one of the best dubs I have ever seen. And one of the things they do is the story starts out in Japan, and so they start talking in Japanese. And I think JDD, you and I had the same thought, where like we started it and we were like, we're pretty sure we put this on dub. But
yeah, dude, I was confused. OD.
Yeah, and then midway they switch languages, and then they're like, oh, let me speak in English, and then they switch accents, and then they speak in English for the rest of the show. But that caught me off guard. But all the voice work is fantastic. Particularly, I mean, all the voice work all around is just fantastic. And so case 1 is, we have our main character is Makoto Edamura, and he's this guy.
Wait, hold on.
Direction in it.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, I think we're good, because I'm pretty sure they can't hear it, but our parents are yelling. But Alright, sorry, just continue. I'm gonna cut that part out, but continue.
Okay, so the first case is all about Edamura, Makoto Edamura, this kid who doesn't have much direction in his life. His mom passed away. He has trouble finding a job, and so he tries to scam this Frenchman that he sees wandering around Japan named Laurent, and he crosses paths with him, but he doesn't know that Laurent himself is he's a con man. So he gets out conned by Laurent.
They call themselves confidence men, but I honestly don't know the difference between a con man and a confidence man. So I'm not gonna try to explain this.
I think they're the same. I think they're the same thing.
Oh, they are? Alright, well, there we go. Just let us know in the comments if there's a difference.
And then, basically, since he gets out-conned by Laurent, that just sets up case 1, where he's like, you gotta join my crew, and we gotta take down this big Hollywood hotshot director who, they ran a scam. I don't want to risk summarizing the plot here.
just going to what you thought overall.
Okay, so the first case, I just want to set it up a bit more. I think so. They basically pretend, hence the name Great Pretenders. They pretend to sell this drug to this big time Hollywood hotshot director. So they go from Japan to LA and they try to sell him on this drug, but it's a fake recipe, and so trouble ensues, and it's just all around hilarious. So they have to pretend to be these chemical experts, and Edamura gets thrusted into this world where he has to pretend to be this expert on this special drug from Japan, and it's so funny because he has to do so much improvisation, and everyone's in on. He himself is so inexperienced, but like everyone else on his team, like the other characters, they have a much better grasp on the situation, and they're so much more confident than he is. So it's just funny to see that dynamic. And so as like the case goes on, it's like he puts himself into more and more of a bind, to the point where he says, okay, I'll write down the recipe for you, but he's like, no, you have to make the drug in front of us, and then he has to pretend to know how to make a fake drug, which I think is just powdered sugar and like candy.
Yeah. Because Abby went like absolutely nuts, but she was like, woo! But she was, but she was obviously pretending. But it was kind of nuts, because she also did this before we knew that she was part of the crew. But yeah, it was so nuts. Sorry, go on.
Right. And since this is Edamura's first case, he doesn't know who's part of the crew and who's not, and so this case has a really funny ending where Cynthia, one of the main members of the team, she pretends to be this lady who's like working on the head of an FBI investigation on this director, and by the end of it, she's able to con him out of $1 million.
They millions upon millions. But yeah. That caught me off guard. Like,
no, for $100 million.
Yo, oh my god, this shit though.
I think one really nice part of the case was there was this subplot involving the Hollywood director's bodyguard, and how he couldn't go see his son. And so Edamura, he cut a deal. he cut a deal to make sure that at the end of all the shenanigans that he would be able to be reunited with his son, because that hits very close to Edamura with all the troubles he's had with his father, which we'll touch upon later.
Oh boy, we will. Alright, so let's move on to case 2.
That's all I have to say about case 1. Yeah.
Alright. My thoughts on case 1 though, just quick. I don't think we have much to say. I would say it's the best one, best of the 4 in my opinion. But hey, there's a lot of funny shit that happened. Like Cynthia, Abby, there's so much good stuff in this case. And one of the big things I do want to point out is that what they did is that every single event or things that transpire, the intensity, the tension just rises and rises and rises and rises, and it's a natural build-up. And they did that really well for the first case. Like they did that very, very well. Like something I do want to add.
Consistently, and this shows up in all the cases, there is so much there's so much irony in this show when it comes to like what's going on, because certain characters are aware of situations, and then Edamura, no one ever tells Edamura anything, so it's always really ironic to see him act.
All because of Laurent's playing.
Because Laurent will always keep him in the dark.
We'll get to him later. But yeah, we'll get to him. Yeah, alright, let me do case 2 real fast. So case 2 is also very good too. It's pretty much the airplane case. It was like airplane races and pilot races, and it's like some illegal stuff. And overall, I thought it was good, and the focus on this arc was about Abby and her backstory about being in war when she was little because her parents. It's a whole stuff. I'm not gonna try to get into details with it, but one of the pilots that was injured during the race. I'm also saying this very out of cohesion. I actually kind of just realized that, but whatever. I just keep it rolling. By the way, I'm assuming that for those of you who are watching this, they have seen the series already. So I hope I don't have to say much. But anyways,
if you want, remember to put spoiler discussion in the title of the video.
No, yeah. I'll probably do that. Maybe. I don't know. It's either on the title or like just put it like at the very beginning of the video. But yeah, anyways, but they had this really good moment with Abby and like that pilot guy. I forgot his name, and because he was the one that I think was the one that killed Abby's parents and whatnot, and she didn't do it. She didn't take the revenge in the end. All because of Egamura. And for somehow Egamura became this dude that was able to just like pretty much become a therapist for people. Like he did the similar shit for Cynthia in case 3, but we'll get to that part a bit later. But he will get that for Abby, and yeah, but that's just one part. That part is cool, but I really want to talk about how this whole thing happened. So, Mr. Laurent has a lot of connections. So, Egamura wanted to, have an honest life and was working at an airport as a mechanic. And he went to being a mechanic to fly a plane. And guess what? It turns out they were all in on it the entire time. They're all cogmeg, and they all brought him back to do the entire scam, which was wild. Like one of the craziest things they did was that the main bad guy, they literally set up an underground gambling ring just to steal his money, and they use these fake screening videos to make sure that he loses and stuff like that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane how they do that. But I'm trying to think of other stuff, but if you have other things you want to say, feel free to jump in. Parzival.
No, one thing that I just want to touch on one thing. One thing that repeats over and over again is that Edamura always gets fed up with how they treat him, and they're like, "Okay, guys, this is my last case. After this, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore."
But Law was like, "Nope, we come back, boy."
And then every single time they figure out how to rope him back into everything, and he's like, "You guys tricked me. How could you?"
Lamont is like, "Boy, you better get your ass back here. We need you." Like, he ain't leaving. It's so funny though. It's so funny. But that's everything I have to say about the case 2. So if you want to say anything about case 2, feel free.
No, I think that was case 2 for me in particular. It's not one of my favorite cases. I didn't feel, I don't know, I think I laughed more in case 1, and
I felt like case 2 was like, it was good, but it wasn't as good as case 1.
No, case 1 was a very good introduction.
Yeah.
And I think with that, I want to transition into case 3.
Go ahead.
Which, case 3 for me, I love case 3 is a very different type of case, because I feel out of all 4, actually no, the 4th one gets tricky, but like out of all the cases up to this point, out of the first 3 cases, case 3 is definitely the most sentimental. Like, it's the most emotional. It's the most emotionally powerful, and that really got me. Like, that it was really touching. It was really sweet, because case 3 focuses on the romance of Cynthia and her past with her.
That was an August guy
who he was an artist, but his original paintings never sold for that much money, but he was great at forgery, and so he got hired by the antagonist of this.
Pretty much, he's a Kakashi for art. If any of you guys seen Naruto.
I actually get that reference.
Yeah, because you're just starting, bro.
I've seen the first 6 episodes, but yeah, that's funny. I love Kakashi. No, but he has this talent for forgery, and so the antagonist of this case, who's an art dealer, he takes advantage of him, and he makes money off of him, because they their past shows that they struggle for money, but they get by on their love for each other, and the music that plays, it all just hits you in the feels, and it was really
that OST was,
but
woof.
I will say, my man Edamura in this case, that man needs to keep his that man needs to stop headbutting into other people's business. Like, he tried to play like matchmaker and like take control of the situation.
I know.
But it was kind of funny, but I was like, dude, ease up. This has nothing to do with you.
It's true, it had nothing to do with him. But yeah, I do but one of the coolest things on case 3 was all this stuff. Everything that happened, it was all planned out. Everything was planned out by Laurent. Alright? Cause this man is a little guy. He is a little guy. And I think we stated this in the previous podcast video that we had. But pretty much, there's some characters. There's gonna be this one character the entire series that, me personally, I don't know about Parzival, me personally, I will call them a liberal guy because they are my most favorite and in my opinion the best character of the series. Maybe not best, but definitely for sure favorite. Because best could be argued by other people, but definitely not a favorite. But yeah, he's a little guy. That's everything I gotta say for Case 3. If you got anything else.
Yeah, and like, I feel like this is where, I mean, one thing you guys didn't know about the show is that it goes off the rails. Like,
Real Case 4. Oh boy.
There is no logic. I mean, Case 4 really goes off the rails.
Oh, like, we'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to
like
that.
But you gotta suspend disbelief here because there's so many. I want to call them coincidences. That coincidences get stacked on top of each other, and they get stacked up on top of each other in such an exaggerated way, where like everything just falls into place. And like it gets more and more ridiculous. Like there's no way the way things work out just gets more and more unbelievable. But it's still so much fun. Like you abandon all logic, but it's just still entertaining to watch. But I think that I want to translation into Case 4, which you'll take. But I feel like when you get into Case 4, it just gets too much. Like at that point, the audience knows the shtick of the show, and they sort of overdo it. Like they were already overdoing it, but they really overdo it in Case 4.
I think the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest issue for Case 4 is Egamora's dad. His redemption, pretty much, because this case was, I think they clearly had it for Laurent, for his character, but they so heavily tied Laurent's character with Egamora's dad, with everything from the beginning. Like they tried to have everything fit into one cohesive stuff with Laurent, and I thought that kind of ruined it, because in my opinion. It was too much. Like I thought that type of connection was not necessary for Laurent in particular. Because here's the thing: if let's say they take out all the Laurent stuff, right? Let's say they take out all the Laurent stuff, and then it's just Egamora's dad and everything related to that with Egamora's dad, and they just had that for Case 4. I think that alone would have been fine. I think what they should have done is that they, like, cause Laurent's whole history with the Chinese guys, whatever their names are, that should have just been Case 4, and maybe not have those Chinese guys be associated with the other people. I'm forgetting these names, but again, same thing. Just like just have them separated as Case 4. I think everything Elmo's dad related and all the connections and stuff, loosely with Laurent though, because I feel like that was a bit too much, should have been Case 5. But that, I would say, is the biggest problem, because this causes so many things to be rushed. So many connections to be out of goddamn nowhere. And at the finale, like, it's just like, yeah, it's cool seeing all the characters come back, which is very interesting, because like all the main bad guys for the previous 3 cases just came back. They're all working together with them just to take these guys out
for like one final heist.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But again, I felt that it was too. I felt that overall this case was too much. Like. I feel like either they did that or they need to slow down the pace or something. It just did not flow well. But that's just my opinion on the matter. So let me get yours.
What I think happened was the main issue is, and you kind of hinted at this, they tried to. The main problem was that they connected Laurent to Edamura's dad. They should not have made that connection, they should have kept those two separate. They should have kept those two separate things. And if you look at it, there's a real pacing issue with Case 4 because it drags. The other cases are at max 4 or 5 episodes each. This one is 9. A Case 4 in itself is 9 episodes. It does not need to be 9 episodes. It could have been just as long as the other 3 cases, and that would have helped them make it a much more succinct and concise story, and the narrative would have flowed better, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should just get like 4 episodes for Levant, and that would be Case 4, and then Case 5 would be the rest with Egamore's dad for the remaining 5 episodes.
And the thing I didn't like is, okay, I know it, and again, you're right, Edamore's dad did not deserve redemption, not just because it's Edamore's dad. I feel like him getting redemption and learning that all of this child trafficking and like all his crimes were like a hoax, I feel that really undermines Edamore's character, because that was his spark. That was what set him off on the journey. And I feel like if you took that part of his past away from him, that makes him a less compelling character. When you reflect back on it, you're like,
yeah. Like,
when you're like, okay, so his dad was a good guy this entire time, so there's no need for him to go on this journey.
Now here's the thing. There have been other series that have done the same thing, for sure, where they just like redeem themselves and just become the good guys. But there's this one character. I know you just started Naruto, so I'm not gonna say much. But I'll just say, for those of you who know, you'll know. There's this one character. Well, one of the main guys actually goal, and this guy was evil. But it turns out that there's a bunch of so much scenarios and stuff that happened. And I don't want to spoil you, but overall it makes sense. If in The Great Pretender, if they did something similar to that for Egamore's dad, then okay, then it would have been fine. But they didn't. And like Parzival said, it undercuts his character. Like, it would have been a different story if that helped develop his character for a new direction. But no, because this is supposed to be the conclusion to everything. So, it doesn't even happen to begin with. But yeah, that's all I want to say about Case. But yeah, continue if you got anything else to say about Case 4.
I mean, Case 4...
trash. Garbage.
It really... I honestly wish Case 4 didn't exist. I mean, like, Case 4... There's some things... There are parts of Case 4 that I'm glad I saw. I'm glad I saw Laurent as a kid. I'm glad I saw his past. The tragedy that happened with his mom. And I'm glad that we got that character development. But if they could have somehow put that in one of the earlier cases, or like make a shorter Case 4 just about that, and then just finished off the show without bringing Edamore's dad in, that's what really did it for me. If you just took out Edamore's dad and gave Laurent his own case like the other characters, then this show would have been fantastic. They could have gone out with a bang instead of a whimper.
Especially when Laurent is the little guy. Just saying.
Yeah. And the more they really stressed themselves thin, and they made it painfully obvious how ridiculous these situations are. Like, they're not even at the point when we got to case 4. It wasn't even like, oh my god, this is so cool, look at all these twists and turns. It's like, dude, this is, it gets on your nerves. It's so frustrating, and I'm so upset that case 4 just kind of like ruins it. I mean, it doesn't totally ruin everything that came before it. It just makes it less power. Like, it just makes it less powerful. It just makes the anime less.
In my opinion, became like a Death Note.
Right. Okay. Anyone who see, I think I got this.
Yeah.
Anyone who, I won't spoil Death Note, but Death Note is a 37 episode anime, and anyone who loves Death Note knows that episodes 1 to 25 of Death Note are one anime, and then episodes 26 to 37 are a completely different anime. There's a drastic shift, and this is what I kind of felt too with Case 4. Case 4 just had that drastic shift that, I don't know, it diluted the show. That's the word I'm looking for. It diluted the show.
Alright, I think we said everything related to Case 4. So let's talk about the characters in specific. But we already talked about these characters, so let's just start off. Like, for me, Egamura, I think we pretty much covered them. So if you got anything else to say about Egamura, feel free.
I mean, I guess just to sum up, Edamura is he's the perfect audience character, because he is the audience. He's just as clueless as we are as to what's going on, and he's very fun to watch. He's very funny. He's a good kid. He's got a good heart, and he goes at, because you can see, like, he's a con man, but like, it's not like he doesn't have the heart of a con man. Like, he has this weird sense of justice about him.
But his skills as a con man is really
that's not as obvious, as the other characters. But when it comes down to the wire, you can always expect that he'll be the one to do the right thing. Like, he's the most morally conscious, which is why he's the main character. And then you want to take Laurent, your literal god.
Yes, I'm going. Laurent, I said this many times, is a literal god, dude. Everything he did, like, if we just specifically talk about Case 1 and Case 3, this man had, in terms of character, doesn't have a backstory, doesn't have any of this stuff. But the reason why he's a little god is because he keeps playing with Egamura. Like, he's better. Like, he is just better. And everything that Egamura tries to do to try to get over him, to try get better than Laurent just one-ups him all the time. And they make everything that happened, all the things that you think was not accounted for, everything of that nature has been accounted for. And particularly him, has solved it. And you really see that with Case 3. Because that was his whole, like, with the whole Cinder stuff, yes, he wasn't involved directly, but he was compared to Egamura, even though, like Parzival said, he should not have been involved to be real with people. He was indirectly involved, and he wanted all that shit to happen. And that shit was great. In Case 4, his backstory until he met Egamura's dad was great. but overall, he's my favorite. He's very entertaining. Like, he is a dude that made the show for me. In my opinion, he is my literal guy in terms of the show, without question.
He's always 100 steps ahead of everybody else, and he's just so laid back and nonchalant, and he's got that suave, cool personality.
And his voice actor is amazing too. For the dub,
Right.
like, he's too good. He's too good. But yes. Alright, so let's move on to Abby. Oh, sorry, you got something to say?
I'll take Abby.
Alright.
Abby is she doesn't show her emotions, and she has a hard time opening up to people, but she is a badass. She is awesome. She's the most. I think
she's a muscle, I would say.
She is the most physically capable and like physically powerful on like out of all the characters on the show. Like she has the most dominating physical presence, which is awesome, and she's very intimidating. But underneath that rough exterior, there's this I don't know. There's an innocence about her that she doesn't like to show very often, but there's an innocence and like playfulness that she doesn't show very often, but it's really nice when
oh
shines
yeah
through.
when she went to climb that rock, that mountain, and like she literally just took a picture of her flipping off Egamura, like hi. That was great.
And I really like their chemistry that they have with each other. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, I like it.
They're sort of opposites, but they bring out the best in each other.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to say about Laurent. This isn't related to Laurent. This is related to his girlfriend. Dear God, why? Like, I felt like the girlfriend, whatever her name was, didn't really change Laurent per se. It just like she was just there to give him an emotional attachment to get removed.
Yeah, and
then, and then she comes back alive somehow.
Yeah, and like she has amnesia.
Goddamn, that's just.
It's so weird.
that was just some weird ass bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so let's move on to Cynthia.
Yeah.
You take her.
Okay, so Cynthia would you say she's like the motherly figure of the group? Like,
I don't know about motherly. I don't know. Maybe like the elder sister, but even then is a stretch.
I know, but they always tease her about her age.
I know. Which is hilarious. Yeah.
But she's very cool. I mean, I think out of the four, I believe she's my least favorite because outside of Case 3, I don't see her really standing out in my brain too much.
That's true. Case 3 is what made her.
Yeah, Case 3 is where she shines, but like outside of that, like
I mean, you could technically count Case 1 as her pretending to be an FBI, but that's also just like the story, so you can't really count that.
Right. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with her, but I feel like she's the least memorable, and I don't want to say she's replaceable, but like I could imagine someone else taking up a similar role.
That's enough. I actually like her a bit more than Abby. I don't know why, but I kind of like her a bit more than Abby.
I'll disagree with you on that.
I disagree with.
I feel like there's more depth to Abby.
I mean, I don't know.
That makes her more interesting. And
I think now that I think about it, like, I feel like the thing that kind of I think maybe you might be right. Like, even though I think like, because if we're talking, because I'm just specifically talking about like who got like more. But if we talk about in terms of character, I think Abby is like a little bit better. Not because of her backstory and stuff like that. I would say it's a relationship with Egamura. I think that's kind of what makes her better than Cynthia in terms of character. In my opinion. But I still like Cynthia more.
I can respect that. I see your point. I respect that. I don't know. It's just I have a personal preference for like characters who are really snarky, and Abby fits the bill for that. Like she's always like, I knew this would happen. I knew he would go off. I knew he wouldn't follow the plan. Like she's always the first one to call him out.
And then LeBron's like, that's okay because him not following the plan is my plan.
Oh my god.
Because he's a gag. Oh man.
So do you want to give final thoughts and your rating?
Oh yeah. So overall, I think this series is good. Yeah, we're giving it an 8 out of 10, but Case 4 dropped it down to a 7. A 7 out of 10 for me. Like, again, if Case 4 was not there, we're bringing 8 out of 10. But because of Case 4, 7 out of 10. Alright, what's yours?
I feel a similar way. I feel like if Case 4, I basically have to downgrade the show from great to good just because of Case 4. Like, I almost feel like giving it 2 scores. Like, Cases 1 to 3, I'll give the show an 8.5 out of 10. But with
yeah,
Case 4,
dude, it's Case 4. That's the problem.
But like, if you add Case 4 and include it, I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, it brings it down by a lot.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much unnecessary back and forth and there's so many twists and turns. It's not hard to follow, but it's just hard to believe. Like, your brain just doesn't, like, it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, you know that it would never happen. It's just unbelievable.
Damn. Yeah. I actually completely forgot about the Kappa Skirma gig. But pretty much, I don't know about Parzival, for me, a 10 out of 10 means that it's a masterpiece. One Piece. A 9 out of 10 is greatness. So I'd be like, my opinion, like My Hero Academia. Greatness. And 8 out of 10 is fire. What's a good example of 8 out of 10? I don't even know.
Probably like Dr. Stone.
Yeah, that's perfect. Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone season 1, because season 2 is coming out, or it is out, or something like that.
It's coming out too.
Yeah. And then 7 out of 10 is good, which is this show. I think 6 out of 10 it's just trash.
Yeah.
Man, it's just trash.
It's like a 60 out of 100, man. You failed the test.
Yeah, man. The 65 is passing.
I know, man.
Oh shit. Alright, so this is where we're gonna be ending off this podcast here. So for those of you who watched all the way through this entire podcast, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this entire thing. I really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out. Be sure to follow me on all the social medias. They're all in the links in the description below. But at this point, you guys don't get know though. So, and you got any final words, Parzival?
Nothing. Thank you so much for having me, J Diddy, and stay safe out there, guys. Take care and enjoy the new year. I don't know when this will get uploaded.
This will be after the new year, but we're gonna get uploaded for sure. But like,
may 2021 be better than 2020.
hopefully. But yeah, so be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay frosty, guys. Stay frosty.
Bye, guys.